Hello guys and welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Greg and this is the first starting 11 show of the season. We've had Rafa Benitez's first pre-game press conference, and if it's anything to go by, this is going to be a tough series to keep going throughout the season. Already we're shrouded in mystery. I know I used to say I liked Carlo Ancelotti being quite coy in press conferences because it kept the other team guessing, but Rafa Benitez has taken that to a whole new level. Of course, we've got a slightly new squad than last season, a new manager. We've now got Andros Townsend, Damari Gray and Asmir Begovic to contend with. But in terms of who can play in this game, Rafa Benitez has really kept me wondering. He's confirmed that Richarlison can play, having come back from the Olympics, and is fit to play. Calvert-Lewin, he said, has recovered from the knock he took, and he said that James is one of 5 players who have been pinged by track and trace, so definitely can't play. The other 4 of those is a complete mystery. So anything I say from here on, saying maybe him, maybe not him, pure speculation. Don't take that as anything gospel, right? It's just speculation that I've seen. Of course, one of those bits of speculation, Mina appeared in some sort of Twitch live stream with James at his house. Maybe he's been pinged as a contact or someone who came in contact, but we don't know. Some people have speculated Gbamin, Andre Gomez, Moise Kean might be in that cohort, and it's really more players who we're looking to sell than players who have been pinged by track and trace. But again, that's all speculation. So when I come to look at the team here, I'm not going to take any of that into account other than what we know is confirmed, and we'll go from there, because I'll just end up with egg in my face if I say Gbamin definitely won't play. He's been track and trace pinged, and then he starts in the midfield. So Richarlison and DCL can play, James can't. That's all I can confirm for you here. In terms of shape, I think we'll see pretty much a continuation of what we saw in pre-season and of what Rafa Benitez has played for pretty much his whole career. It's a bit of a continuation from us for the last couple of seasons as well. We'll probably see 4 at the back and then a 2-3-1 sort of shape. So those 3 in midfield, just in front of the 2 holding, and then a dedicated striker. So that being said, let's go into personnel. We'll do a couple of iterations and end up on a final team, but we'll talk obviously position by position of if they can't play because of this, that or the other, who would go there, what could work, and we'll try and riddle it out. But what I really want to know for this first one, guys, is going into the season, everyone's fit, everyone stays. Maybe if you want to include a couple of signings, what's your ideal starting 11 that would play most games? Of course, we sort of played our best starting 11 in the first game of last season against Spurs, and then injuries meant we hardly ever played that good, perfect team again together. So give me what would be that perfect copy-paste team you'd have in the comments. Starting a goal, I'll go with Jordan Pickford. I think it has to be. Begovic has been all right in pre-season, to be fair, but Pickford's confidence seems to have peaked. Obviously, he had a good Euros. He had a great end to last season for us. He's our starting keeper. I don't think Begovic will do as much to push him as Lossell did last season. Robin Olsen, I'm getting all my backup keepers mixed up, as Robin Olsen did, but I think he's still a good deputy. Pickford in goal. Right back, we haven't bought anyone in. As you got to hope that we will, in some sort of basis, whether it's a loan or a permanent buy. You've got to hope that come the end of this month we will have someone here who's not Seamus Coleman. I don't think Kenny even stands a chance of getting into this team. He didn't have a good loan out. He's not kicked on. I think it's got to be Seamus Coleman. He's played there during pre-season. For some reason, I feel like he's the kind of player Benitez is gonna like as well. So, if not, then it could be Keane and Mina and Godfrey outright, which some people might do anyway. That might be sensible. But that's what I'm going to go with now. I'm going to play safe. Okay, I've got cards close to chest. I'm going to go Coleman, Godfrey, Keane. Of course, on the left, Luca Dean. And Kunku's an option, but Luca Dean, if he's fit, has to start. And this is where it gets a bit more troublesome, right? So we get into the midfield, and rumours are no Gbamin, no Gomez. So we don't know. I mean, if Alan is fit, he has to be in there for me. Next to him, now listen to this. I think Alan, perfect. Next to him, who's going to be good this season? Does Gbamin sit next to Alan, or is that just for the difficult games where we have to defend? Because what I've seen from Gbamin, and obviously it's short snippets so far throughout pre-season, is that he can carry the ball forward well. That's something we've been lacking severely in midfielders. So perhaps he can sit there and do that job. And of course, what Decore then said in his conference was that, he was quoted saying he's going to be asked to play a more forward role this season, more attacking as opposed to the defensive role he played last season. So could that be almost a three-man midfield in itself, with Decore being the more forward player? I don't know. Maybe that's just one for teams where we're going to be under the cosh. Maybe it's something to consider. I don't think we'll go with that here. I think it would be too negative in our first home game against Southampton, a weak Southampton team, to go out with that midfield. So I'm going to guess it's Alan and Decore, probably our best midfield partnership. I don't think Tom Davies particularly gets a look in other than off the bench, and I hope Delph is nowhere near the team. In front of them, of course, one of our number 10s is otherwise occupied, and James is pinged by track and trace. So that really leaves us one option there, which is Iwobi. It's not ideal, but if he's ever going to make himself a lifeline, here it is, last chance saloon for him, I guess. I think he has to play there. Out on the right, and again this is difficult because on the left, you'd want to see Richarlison ideally. And he said he's fit, he can play, he's come back and he's hungry from the Olympics, and he's young and fit and he'll rest when he's older, and whatever the language he gave was. But is it not sensible just to give him a rest anyway? I don't know. I don't think Rafa Benitez will give him a rest. I think he's got to be so keen to impress, and he's going to want all of his best personnel on the pitch. So I think we will see Richarlison out left, which means we'll probably see Gray out on the right. And of course, when you've got Richarlison, Iwobi and Gray in behind the striker, that can be a little bit more fluid. I don't know if it's if it's the quality to be as fluid as and of course it's not involving the striker, so it's not a front three that's fluid. You hear Liverpool's front three has been, where they all make these runs, but that they can these three behind. I'll spoil it. Calvert-Lewin will be a little bit more fluid. We'll be able to track each other's runs. Iwobi will be able to get out wide. Gray can probably come in and be a bit more creative through the centre. Richarlison as well, we know he can do that. Play as more of a second striker to Calvert-Lewin when Iwobi might push out the other way. So for me, that's Gray, Iwobi and Richarlison right to left. Calvert-Lewin has to be up top, of course, if Moise Kean is either disenfranchised, hit by COVID, or any of the above. It's probably not going to work for him. I think he's behind Calvert-Lewin in the pecking order, even if everyone is fit. So, yeah, maybe Andros Townsend's in there. Nathan Broadhead and Anthony Gordon maybe off the bench as well as options. But I think that's the team. I'm looking at it again and I'm having all kinds of second thoughts. Will Mina? I mean, Mina's been too good, but will it be pinged? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Is it enough to beat Southampton on the first day? Is this a team you'd be happy with seeing? Who is not in this team that I've put forward that should be in going forward? And where is this big weakness, other than the obvious answer, which is right back? Where else have we got to upskill so that this team can compete? And I'm not just talking compete as in getting into the top half of the table. I'm talking pushing for Europe, because I'm looking at this team that I've got in front of me and I'm not seeing any kind of knocking on the door of Europe. So just to go back over it: Pickford, Coleman, Godfrey, Keane, Luca Dean, Decore and Alan, Iwobi in front of them, Gray, Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. And then, of course, off the bench, we've got your Townsends and your Tom Davieses. I don't see where Andre Gomez fits in any of this, even if he is fit and well. Let me know any of the players I haven't even discussed. Give me your opinions and let me know what team you would go with. Let's hope for a good result. Let's hope next week, for next week's game, it's a little more understandable. We know who's fit. We know what personnel we have. Of course, we'll know who the players pinged are by track and trace or just on the transfer list, and there'll be some more clarity. But that's my team for you guys this week.